Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're diving into what I honestly think is one of the most astonishing medical mysteries out there. Think about it. When you picture a healthy body, what usually pops into your head? A strong heart? Powerful lungs? Well, what if I told you the real secret to reversing aging and reclaiming your vitality actually lies in an organ we barely ever think about, unless, we've had a few too many drinks? Today, we're unpacking the incredible science of how you can literally reclaim a perfectly healthy 20-year-old liver. Okay, let's dive right into this. 33.3%. Right now, globally, literally 1 in 3 adults is walking around with fatty liver disease. That is a staggering statistic. We're talking about hundreds of millions of people with significantly compromised internal health. And here's the crazy part, the vast majority of them don't feel a thing. No pain, no warning signs, just this silent, progressive condition secretly taking hold. And that brings us to the central mystery of our explainer today. Why on earth are perfectly healthy-looking, non-drinking adults suddenly developing severe liver disease? I mean, the traditional assumption has always been that liver damage just comes from heavy drinking, right? But doctors are now seeing this massive spike in severe liver issues among people who haven't touched a single drop of alcohol in their entire lives. Part 1. The Silent Liver Epidemic, an Invisible Crisis. Take a look at this fact because it totally shatters what we thought we knew. 30% of all fatty liver cases are actually found in people with a BMI of under 25. That means nearly a third of the people developing this disease are clinically thin. It completely destroys the myth that this is exclusively an obesity problem. You can look incredibly fit on the outside, have a perfectly normal weight, and still be harboring a really dangerous amount of fat inside your liver. Moving on to part 2, the body's ultimate shield. Let's look at what the liver actually does. So your liver is the largest internal organ you've got. It weighs in at almost 3 pounds, which is about the size of your brain. And it really has 3 massive jobs. First up, metabolism. It takes nutrients from your gut and converts them into the exact energy your body needs. Second is detoxification. It neutralizes poisons. But the third one, this is the most surprising, immunity. An unbelievable 80% of your body's phagocytic cells, those are the cells that literally eat harmful bacteria and pathogens, live right here in the liver. Basically, if your liver fails, your entire immune system crashes right along with it. But when things go wrong here, they go wrong completely silently. Let's walk through the terrifying progression of this disease. It starts out as simple fatty liver, just a silent buildup of fat. But then it escalates to steatohepatitis. That's a big word, but it just means the liver cells are actively breaking down and getting inflamed. Finally, if it's left unchecked, you hit cirrhosis. As your liver desperately tries to heal from all this constant breakdown, it creates fibrous scars. Imagine a thick keloid scar on your skin, but deep inside your body. Eventually, that soft, vital tissue turns hard as cement. And once it's cement, there's no going back. It is totally irreversible. To really visualize what's happening in that very first stage, medical experts describe it like, quote, drops of white oil floating in ramen soup. Gross, right? The fat isn't just wrapping around the outside of the organ like a cozy blanket. It's actually infiltrating and filling up the inside of the individual liver cells themselves. Your vital metabolic engines are essentially drowning in these tiny droplets of oil. But here is the absolute best, most empowering news. Your liver is the ultimate regenerative organ in the human body. Get this, if a surgeon were to cut away 70% of a healthy liver for a transplant, that remaining 30% would completely regrow back to its full size, full 3D structure, full function in just 3 months. It's practically a biological superpower. But, and this is a massive but, it completely loses this superpower if the tissue becomes inflamed and scarred. Which brings us to part 3, the shocking toxic culprit. Let's uncover exactly what is destroying the liver's regenerative superpowers. So I want you to ask yourself a question. What is the absolute worst poison for your liver? If you guessed alcohol, you're actually wrong. The true assassin here is something a lot of us actively consume every single day, often thinking we're making a healthy choice. The ultimate villain destroying our livers is liquid fructose. Yup, we're talking about sweet drinks, energy drinks, sports drinks, and brace yourself, even 100% fruit juice. The World Health Organization has actually officially and explicitly linked the consumption of liquid sweet drinks to the explosive rise in fatty liver disease. Part 4, the speed of fructose. Now, what's really interesting about this next part is why liquids are just so much worse. Let's compare eating a whole solid orange to just chugging a glass of 100% orange juice. When you chew a whole orange, you're getting fiber, and the whole digestion process takes time. Because of that slow absorption, your small intestine can safely handle and convert up to 90% of that natural fructose into completely harmless glucose. But a single glass of juice, that packs the sugar of like 6 or 7 oranges, completely stripped of its fiber and swallowed in seconds. That massive, rapid hit of liquid fructose just completely overwhelms your intestinal enzymes. Because those natural filters get so totally overwhelmed by the sheer speed of absorption, the fructose just bypasses the small intestine entirely. As medical professionals put it, liquid sweet drinks directly attack the liver. The liver is forced to take on this massive hit of fructose all at once, and it has absolutely no choice but to immediately convert it into fat, storing it directly inside its own cells. You are literally flipping a switch that tells your body to hoard liver fat. And to make matters worse, how our bodies handle this sugar attack changes dramatically as we get older. Up until about age 25, our bodies are pumping out growth hormone, which happily burns up all that extra sugar for cellular growth. But after 25, that hormone basically stops. This is exactly why men in their 30s see a massive, dangerous spike in fatty liver risk. For women, estrogen actually acts as a shield, directing fat to the subcutaneous layers under the skin instead. But once women hit their late 40s and estrogen levels drop, bam, their risk for fatty liver aggressively spikes right up to match the men. So how do we fix it? Part 5, the 7% solution. Let's talk about how to actually reverse the damage. So the crucial point here all comes down to this exact number, 7%. Medical guidelines and hard science have proven that losing exactly 7% of your total body weight is the magic threshold you need to stop liver inflammation dead in its tracks. For example, if you weigh 100 kilograms, losing just 7 kilograms will scientifically reverse the active damage happening to your liver cells right now. And it's absolutely vital to understand the difference here. The goal is healing the liver, not just cosmetic weight loss. Let's say someone weighs 100 kilos and they drop to 93 kilos. They might still look clinically overweight on the outside, sure, but on the inside, that 7% reduction literally melts the fat directly out of the liver cells. It drastically drops liver enzyme levels and stops the progression towards cirrhosis. You are saving the organ, completely regardless of your outward appearance. To pull this off and let your liver regenerate, we've got to swap some old habits for new ones. First things first, stop drinking your sugar. Ditch the juice and sports drinks for water, unsweetened carbonated water, or black coffee. Actually, black coffee has some really great evidence backing it for supporting liver health. Second rule, do not drop your carbs to 0. That's just going to cause severe constipation, and nobody wants that. Instead, cut your carbs in half and double your vegetables so you're getting all that necessary fiber. And lastly, you've got to squeeze in 10 minutes of daily muscle training. Listen, this is especially crucial for thin people with fatty liver. If you don't have muscle mass, your body literally has nowhere else to stash excess energy except the liver. Building muscle gives that energy a safe home. Look, your liver is an absolute biological marvel. It's fully capable of regenerating itself right back into a pristine, youthful state if we just stop overwhelming it. So I'm going to leave you with this thought. Knowing that a simple glass of fruit juice might be the very thing stopping your body from healing, what small change are you going to make today to reclaim your liver's regenerative superpowers? The choice is entirely in your hands. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.